You know, one thing I think all of us in the gun community really like, it's a good top 10 gun list. Because for one reason, it gives us something to fight about that doesn't really matter. So we're not going to get too angry because, you know, a person's personal preference in guns isn't really that big of a deal. So it doesn't matter if we disagree with them or not, but it still gives us something to argue about. So that in mind, I thought today I would do a top 10 list. Now, I usually just do top 5 lists. But in this category, I could not narrow it down to 5 guns, so I'm going to do a top 10. That category is going to be top 10 production 1911s. Now, I say production because I'm not including any custom makers. I'm not including Ed Brown or Nighthawk, any of those custom makers. Any gun that you have to order specifically from the factory with custom features, not including it. These are straight off-the-shelf guns that you can get from any distributor. So these guns I'm going to include today are also just going to be the 4-inch to the 5-inch categories. You know, commander to government. Because when you're dealing with, you know, those two different size guns, basically the only difference usually is a 1/2 inch to 3/4 inch of barrel length, depending on the manufacturer. When you get into subcompact 1911s, it's a different story. So those are not going to be included in today's list. Maybe I'll do that list later. Now, also, one last thing I want to say about these models of guns before I get on with the list is that they are often available in different finishes. I'm not going to cover all the finishes today. I'm just going to show one example. You choose what finish you like. They're often available also in both the 4-inch to 5-inch barrel range. You choose what barrel size you like. I'm just going to tell you which models I think are the top 10 production 1911s available today. So let's go ahead and get started with that list. At number 10 is a classic, the Colt Delta Elite. Now the Delta Elite is a 10mm 1911 and it is the quintessential 10mm 1911. Colt has made a lot of effort lately to improve their 1911s and it's really showing, especially in the Delta Elite. The one I prefer is the railed version, but you can get it in non-railed also. This is just a great 1911 and that's why it's number 10 on my list. Number 9 is a gun I own and I've been carrying every day lately. That is the Sig STX. This is an awesome 1911 that comes straight out of the gate with everything you could possibly need on a full-size 1911. It has night sights, it has ambi safety, it has a mag well. It's just a really nice gun. Like I said, anyone who likes 1911s would really enjoy this one, so it definitely deserves the number 9 position. Now at number 8 on the list is another Sig, and it's also the only bobtail or fastback design gun on my list because I'm not real fond of that design, but for this gun I'm making an exception, and that is the Sig Nightmare Fastback. Not only is this every bit as awesome a gun as the STX, but it's also available in 357 Sig, which is a nice addition to the 1911 platform. So for that reason and for reasons of quality, this gun definitely deserves to be number 8. Now the number 7 gun on the list is going to be a little controversial because a lot of people don't like the manufacturer. In fact, they call it Member sometimes, but Kimber makes a great 1911, period. Sometimes it matters if a piece is MEM and sometimes it doesn't. And the only time Kimber uses a MEM piece is in places where it doesn't matter. And that does keep the cost of their guns down because a lot of Kimber guns are of almost near custom quality at 1/3 the price. So at number 7 on the list is the TRP RL. This is just an amazing 1911. It comes in 45 ACP 9mm and is available in 10mm also. The RL is the rail model, which I prefer, but it is also available without the rail, just the TLE model. Whichever caliber and whichever model you decided to get of this particular gun, I think you'd be making a great choice, and it definitely deserves to be number 7 on this list. Now, at number 6 on this list is a gun manufacturer that's relatively new to the 1911 modern market, and they definitely aren't known for the 1911s. They're more known for revolvers. It's the Smith & Wesson E-Series 1911. I really love the scale serrations on this gun. I love the finishing on this gun. I just love pretty much everything about this gun. It's also available in a railed model, which I prefer, or a non-railed model, but both of these models are awesome guns. It does have an external extractor like the SIGs I mentioned earlier, but I don't mind that. Some people do, but I don't. And I think this gun is just awesome. Either with the rail or without the rail, this is a top-notch production level 1911, and it definitely deserves the position at number 6. Now, number 5 on the list is one of my favorite 1911s I've personally ever owned, and that is the Kimber Raptor. This is not only just a great 1911 in general, but it's also a badass looking 1911. I love the chain link on the front of the grip. I love the serration type on the slide. It's just a nice looking gun, grips included. Even the grips on this gun, this factory grips look awesome on this gun. I bought this gun because I couldn't afford an Ed Brown, and I was actually happy that I couldn't afford the Ed Brown, because for 1/3 the price, you get a gun that's just a great gun, period. It's an awesome 1911, and it definitely deserves to be the number 5 gun on this list. Now, number 4 on this list is the one exception to the only difference being the barrel length, and it's because it's a CCO gun. That means it has a commander length slide, but it has an officer size frame. And that is the Dan Wesson PMC. This is the Pointman Carry. This gun is a little tank. This gun just isn't an awesome little machine. It's also hand fit. Dan Wesson hand fits their 1911s, and it shows. If you're a perfectionist, the Dan Wesson firearms are for you, and I am a perfectionist, so I definitely do love this pistol. It's one of my favorite ones I own, and it definitely deserves to be number 4 on this list. Now, number 3 on this list is another Dan Wesson 1911, but it's more of a traditional size 1911. Unlike the PMC, it is the Valor. Now, the Valor is available in different finishes and different barrel lengths. It's also available in 10mm. Like the other Dan Wessons, it is a hand-fit gun, and it shows. This is a top-notch gun. If you want a 10mm 1911 and you want it to be the best you can buy, but still be at that production level, then this gun would be the one for you, and it's why it's number 3 on this list. Now, number 2 on the list is where I kind of hit a moral dilemma here. I hate the company that makes this gun, but the gun itself is so amazing that it hurts me inside to leave it off the list, but just like it hurts me to have to actually say the name of the company. And this company that I'm talking about is and the 1911 I'm talking about is the TRP Operator. This gun is awesome. This is basically a modern 1911 lover's wet dream. This gun is perfect in almost every way. I wish I could own one of these, but I just hate the company so bad that I can't buy one new, and you very seldomly see them on the used market. Now, if I could get the Chris Kyle edition of this gun, I would definitely wet myself literally with excitement if I could get a hold of one of the Chris Kyle versions of this gun, but I don't see that happening. But it definitely deserves to be number 2 on this list because of quality alone. Now, the number 1 spot on my list was really kind of a hard choice because there were so many great guns, and almost every gun 5 through 2 could have been number 1. But the one I chose for number 1 is one that I love, not only because of the quality of the gun, but because it comes with everything you could want. So the number 1 gun on this list, the number 1 production level 1911, is the Dan Wesson Specialist. This one also comes in different barrel lengths and different finishes, and no matter which one you choose, it is loaded with features. Night sights, ambi safety, magwell, just a load of features. It's just an amazing gun, and it comes, like I said, with everything straight from the factory you could want, plus being a hand-fit, wonderfully put together piece of machinery from Dan Wesson. Therefore, it is my number 1 production level 1911, the Dan Wesson Specialist. So there you have it. There's what I consider to be the top 10 production level 4 to 5 inch 1911s. You might disagree with it. You might agree with it. You might disagree with some and disagree with some. But you know what? In the end, it's my list. If you want to tell me what your favorites are, go ahead, make a video, or just let me know in the comments. But like I said, for now, that's my list of the top 10 production 1911s.